to you. I promise to love you, keep God at the center of our lives, and continue to keep taking these leaps of faith with you. I love you.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. I'm going to be having a review with Love Lens Review. We're going to be talking about Love is Blind. Yes, I know you're not sick of talking about Love is Blind. I know you're not. Okay, and I know a lot of you have been coming with comments on my Super Panel channels. A lot of you disagree with some of my takes. I love it. It's good because we need to have more conversations as well. So today's going to be no different. We're going to have one of those conversations, and I'm sure you're going to have strong opinions as well in the chat. I'm sure you're going to go away entertained and educated at the same time. But let's talk about something. I want to propose a title for this conversation. Is this the worst Love is Blind? I'm just saying. Is this the worst Love is Blind that we've had of all 7 seasons? Is this the worst Love is Blind? Okay, type it in the chat for me, and if you're in a comment, if you're watching replay, leave a comment down below. Is this the worst Love is Blind that you've watched so far? Okay, all right. I don't think the entertainment. I think the entertainment's been amazing, but is it the worst Love is Blind? Let me know as well. All right. So we're gonna make sure we have a good conversation. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate y'all because it's always good to have a vibe. Okay, let's connect, baby. Master, how you doing, Captain?
Doing good, man. How's everything been going with you? Been watching you do your work on your channel.
Yeah, it's been good. I can't even lie to you. It's been good. So we've been putting the work in, so I'm not mad at it. Just ready to do some work, man. So I think this is Love is Blind's got me wrapped up. Can't lie to you. Got me wrapped up this season. So
it's been crazy.
Yeah, can't wait to talk about it. What's your opinions then? Because obviously I titled it the worst Love is Blind season so far. Would you agree? Would you disagree? If yes, if no, why?
Worse. That's an interesting word. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
it got super quiet at one point. Worse. I don't know. I mean, other than recency bias, it's looking like it's the worst, but would it be the worst without Tyler? Would it be the worst without that situation? I did not like the whole Cole and the fruity cuties situation with the gaslighting, and they showed the clip after that. Then you got the whole Jackie thing. I don't know. Like I will have to answer that once we are further moved away. But a man denying his own children is looking like it is.
I hear that. No, I definitely hear that. Definitely a lot of craziness this season, and especially if it looks like obviously Tyler is denying his kids. That's a bit more crazy behind the scenes. I think obviously the lies and manipulations, the cheating, the falsities. There's a whole bunch of things that have really happened on this season that have really been crazy, and more so because of the things that have come out after as well than the actual season. Of course, every season we know something comes out, but Bodan got hit with something, as well as Tyler. So yeah, there's a couple of things that have been happening behind the scenes that I've been like,
yeah,
saying it.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
I thought that it was very easily understandable why Ashley would marry him if you only watched the show. Like if you didn't have all the information we had, because right now, as we stand, or as when filming ended, perfect relationship like Brett and Tiffany, no hiccups, and then you find out that he gave sperm to somebody that he know, and he's not in his children's life. He never seen his children, anything. That's all Ashley knew. So if you just only watch the show, because I still see people going in the comments and like, I don't understand why the internet's coming down so hard on him. He just gave sperm. So a lot of people aren't as glued in as we are,
Yeah.
So is that understandable? Like why she would marry him?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense of like you've described. I think yes. No, as in because the person told a major lie, and it is a major lie. In terms of even just saying you're a sperm donor, why would you need to wait till after the end of the show to tell me that? If you've got nothing to hide and it's just a sperm donor, you could have told me that on the show. You could have told me that in the pods, which would make my antennas go all the way up. And also, I don't like pressure. So now that we're on the show and I'm like, we have to get married next few weeks, I'd have been like, well, let's hold up because paperwork needs to be shown. I need to see the paperwork. And if you now tell me, well, it was an informal it was an informally done, which I'm sure you probably told her as well. It was informally done. I'm gonna be like, well, we need to slow it down. And this is just me now at my age, not then. Then I'd have been like, you know what, go for it. But I think now I'm older and a bit more wiser, and I'm more true to myself, as in I'm not willing to deny me so that we can make something like marriage work. Yes, I would say that. Why don't you do that? But I can see why somebody would do that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
I kind of agree. My thing would be, and it's probably because I do true crime documentaries, if you told me that you did that, and then you also told me that you know them, you're not in a kid's life, you don't have any rights or anything, just going by the lie he told her. At that point, I got my phone back. The show has already given me their phone back. I'm starting my investigation. That would have triggered me enough to research, because I would not have wanted to sit around, and I don't know how big of a, the city and everything that they're in, the particular area that they live in, but I may run into this guy's children and he's telling me the entire time he don't have children. And this is still based on the lie, not all of the other information we know.
Yeah, and I think all I would have wanted Ashley to do, and what I would have wanted to do also, is just to say, well, we don't have to rush to get wedded. Do you see what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because the wedding is not just a wedding, sorry, to get married. Because now we are joining together officially and legally. And this show is not like Australian or something where they do like an impromptu. It's not like where they do a proper marriage. So it's legally, and so it's a real deal. So this is why you need good people around you as well to be able to make these kind of decisions. Because he omitted that information and waited to the end, I also don't like manipulation. So for me personally, I would have just halted it. I wouldn't expect her to even leave. I think that would have been quite strong. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I need to verify what's happened. So I would have wanted her to just slow it down and stop and be like, you know what? Let's just pause it here, because we saw this. Marissa came out and said that she actually tried to date Ramses after.
I saw. No. We talk about that. I saw that.
You know what I mean? So it's clear that people do this. Clay tried to do it with AD, but AD didn't want to have it. So it can happen where this is not the end. But let's say, for instance, we're not going to get our TV moment. I don't think she was thinking about TV. I think she was more thinking about, well, actually, I don't think it's that bad of a deal. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. I would say that, because we got a bad bunch. We look bad. The fellas look bad this season.
Yeah, the fellas do. I can't lie.
In the past, they said like bad guys were bad, but I never felt it. But it wasn't until, I think it may have been Tyler, one of the guys posted a photo of all the guys, and I looked, I'm like, shoot, this is a bad batch. Other than Karen, this is a bad batch.
Down bad.
Yeah. But I would say this is meaningless, but I think Tyler actually came on the show for the right reason. He came on the show to find a wife and to get married. He just wanted to do it through the worst manipulation I've ever seen on Love Is Blind.
Yeah, I think my issue with Tyler is, and again, I'm always trying to be like more balanced now with my approaches, right? I think it's simultaneously, it's like when someone does something to you and hurts you, they always tell you, I didn't mean to do it, but you did mean to do it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? Most of us will say we didn't mean to do it, but actually there's a lot of intentionality behind it, right? You know what I'm saying to you? You cussed me out because you were angry and you let yourself go. In the same phase, I think like Tyler, it's not intentionally trying to manipulate old girl Ashley, but he is intentionally manipulating her. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, I feel like he was probably afraid. When I say not intentional, he's afraid that if he tells this real story, it's a messy story, and it is messy. My God, is it messy? You know what I'm saying to you? And there's a lot of moving components. And I think his first thought was fear. If I tell her the truth, she ain't gonna stay. You know what I'm saying to you? She ain't gonna stay. And maybe at first, you know, when you're ashamed as well, sometimes when you are ashamed of what you've done, and you are guilty of what you've done, and you look at your life and you go, yeah, I don't think someone's gonna accept that. You can run into a fear response where you just start lying about what it actually is, because you don't want to put that out there because you're afraid of being judged or not getting what you actually want. That's where the manipulation comes in, though. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So then the manipulation kicks in, because now you're not telling the person the full truth in order to make a decision. You know what I'm saying to you? So, yeah.
I think if you're really genuinely looking for love, It's to be completely vulnerable and bare your soul and hope that the other person do too. I don't think that Tyler had a horrible story. I think Tyler had a beautiful story. Here's Tyler's truth. He did help out a lesbian couple, and he was only supposed to be the sperm donor. They broke up, and he said that he would step up and, unlike other sperm donors, be in the child's life. They're playing house. They're not together. They're dressing alike. They're taking photos. And in between this, feelings could develop, even if they're feelings just for having sex. So now she gets pregnant a second time. One more pregnancy, even though it's 3 children, and it's twins. This woman is supporting you. She's still your best friend. She wants you to go on the show. She wants you to find love. I think Tyler could have told this beautiful truth. I think Tyler could have had his kids at his wedding, and I think that everything could have been fine. I don't see that he like did something dirty or wrong, and you living and playing house and y'all have sex, and then she get pregnant, and then you stepping up as a man to be there for all 3 children, even the one that you had no legal rights to. I think that he made himself afraid of the decisions that he made in life, and he reacted horribly off of them.
And listen, I think you're right. I mean, listen, in some parts, I think it sounds beautiful, but it's hella ugly.
Yeah,
and
the other details, the sex rooms and stuff. Yeah, I was paying
like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna come clean, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
come clean the whole way through, because it involves a whole story. And I think this is not me to give him an admission. This is me to say that maybe I can understand maybe where the mindset comes from, but I still would have thought Ashley would have taken the time to leave the situation anyway. But my thing is that story is a very crazy story to tell, because if he had no children, then it would have been a better story to tell. But once you've got kids in the situation, it now becomes a very ugly story to tell, right? Because now you got to tell the story of this, okay? Actually, the whole situation started because you were trying to, and I think he genuinely was trying to help a lesbian couple. I think that's how it really did start off that way. He donated sperm. It happened. I think then, obviously, and amongst that, he's having free coughs or whatever he's doing as well. The lesbian couple's also involved. Okay, all right. And old girl said, because old girl didn't actually deny it. The girl that came on the thing didn't deny that she didn't have the little sex or free cough. She just said that she saw things. You know what I'm saying to you? So it sounds like they were all involved in this whole free cough situation, and the friends were all involved in this kind of free cough stuff, right?
I'm glad you saw that.
Okay. You know what I'm saying to you? So they're all involved in this situation, right? It got messy because I think there are certain ideas, maybe beliefs that people might have had. For instance, I don't know if he feels comfortable enough, and I know he started off this way. How comfortable is he with his son being raised by a lesbian couple? And I think that may have motivated him pushing towards when the lesbian girl comes to him and says, actually, you know what? Me and old girl breaking up. I need you to help me in this situation. Why not? I'll put my name on the birth certificate. I'll help you get her away. You know what I'm saying to you? Because the beef between him and the other lady don't even make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? I know that she saw him getting close, but the beef seems like it was going on for time. My girl's an arch nemesis. So I think there's some good aspects to it, but it's just so messy with then that happened. And then how you going to explain that, okay, this girl's a lesbian. Y'all end up living together, sexing together. Okay, cool. But then you have twins. You didn't want the twins. It doesn't sound like you wanted the twins. It sounds like you got caught up. And then the twins come about. Now you got 3 kids. Okay, because she was going to have an abortion. This story's not sounding good. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah? And then, so it feels so convoluted. So I do, again, feel that the story is so messy, it may be very difficult to explain on camera. But here's what I feel like. I feel like in this situation that whether it was techie or not, you knew you were going on TV. So you're probably going to have to explain the story. So I feel like it's a bit cheeky to not explain it. That's what I feel, and not just cheeky. Sorry, not just cheeky. It's manipulative.
It's 1,000%. It's 1,000% manipulative. Like, this guy's a scumbag. He's like this is the worst guy I've ever seen in the history of Love Is Blind. But I want to be. Who's worse than this?
Do you remember first season?
Yes.
Or boy that was bisexual. Well, it wasn't bisexual, but pretty much was gay. Who dated Diamond. Dragged her emotionally into a situation to say that he loved her, cared about her, but really he was bisexual and almost gay and could not love her. I think that was worse. That guy knew he couldn't do nothing for her.
As a man with children, to deny what you're supposed to love more than anything on earth, there's nothing worse than that. So, like, I don't know about there's nothing worse than that. Maybe but I wanted to be clear with your audience. When I say it's easy to explain, I mean that literally. Like this would have been easy to explain in the way I explained it. That don't mean that I genuinely think like it's all beautiful and roses and everything. I just think that there's certain things that can be divided. If he meets a girl and he tells a girl, I used to be an asshole back in the day. I used to be a jerk. I used to be this. I used to be horrible. I used to do all these things, and she accepts that, then the freak offs and all that stuff don't matter because Ashley, like, well, that's in your past. So he just has to explain. You got these 3 children. You went to do be a sperm donor first, and then y'all lived together, and then y'all had twins. That's the only thing. Like there would have been nothing in that if I'm coming on this show to find my wife to sign a contract in less than 2 months, I'm not risking in line like that. But I want to say one last thing too. I feel that I'm glad that this situation happened because you said, what if Tyler didn't have children? If Tyler didn't have children, we would have thought this was the Tiffany and Brett of this season, not knowing that it's inside of him to when he's cornered to be this manipulative and lie. It's still in him, just he didn't have a situation to bring it out.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point as well. That's a fair point. You know, I think that manipulative aspect is still into. He probably would have been a cheater, but hey, you know what I mean. He probably would have been a cheater, obviously, because he's cheated in the past before, right? So you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm hoping, and of course we have the judgments, the financial judgments, which obviously he borrowed some money and hasn't paid it back yet. Which if he has got a 10-figure company, 6-figure company, he should have started paying back that girl already. That would have been of good intentions. I guess because I've been scammed before. People have lied to me. I see people in a more dimensional. I see people. I don't want to say like more than anybody else, but more to say because I've seen that it's changed my perspective on how I view people now on a spectrum of, you know, good and bad. I still think Tyler was conniving and manipulative for what he did, and I wouldn't want Ashley to be with him because the pattern, as of yet, hasn't been changed. Because if it had been changed, he would have owned the story and told her the truth, regardless of how troubling it was. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like he missed out a little bit of the story and said, "Look," and missed the freak offs off. You know what I mean? Like I didn't tell you about the freak offs, but I had the 3 kids. Like that would have been like, you know what? He did lie, but you know what? Fair play. He told the 3 kids. That's the most important part. The freak offs can be kind of missed, but he didn't tell any of it. Then told us said that he doesn't know what the kids don't know if they what I really look like, and we have pictures that show that with the kids. So yeah,
Looking
that
right
part
in
for
his
me
face. Looking right in his
is.
face.
That's why I say he hasn't changed. That's why I feel like he hasn't changed because he wasn't honest in that moment until the very end, where you are emotionally connected and drawn in, rather than saying from the very beginning. And maybe you're right. Maybe he could have said it a little bit. If he had said it right at the beginning and said, "Hey, can I tell you the honest truth? I've got 3 kids. One was a sperm donor who are now taken on as a real child now. The other 2 are my twins." Okay, which has a little bit of a crazy history with it, and I won't mind sharing that with you. Maybe we can do it off camera, okay, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Then it would have primed her for that. But he waited till the end, where she was emotionally connected. That for me is where the manipulation comes in, and I don't like that. And that's why I said to myself, Ashley, you don't need to be there.
Well, there's a much easier way to show that he hasn't changed. This man hasn't seen his children since the day he walked into the pods. Like that, he's still denying his. Oh, that hurts me. He's still denying his DNA, his seeds, the one thing he was put on earth to protect for a relationship. And I don't mean this as disrespect in any way to Ashley, but to deny your flesh and blood over a woman you've known for less than 2 months at the time of filming is diabolical. You know, like it's crazy.
I mean, I get it. It's a healthy attachment, but I get it.
What hurt me was, you know, I knew she, you know, we knew behind the scenes that she was going to marry him. But when they showed that part after they got married and it just ran to some random clip of some random little dark-skinned girl at the wedding, it just hit me like this man is shunning his children from the biggest moment of his life. And he got other children there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I guess, obviously, again, I'll look from the perspective of, yes, it can look like that, but I'm looking at it going, he's out of sight, he's out of mind for him. So the thought process behind it, and again, maybe I'm explaining the behavior. Yeah, I know it sounds wild, but I'm talking from the perspective of somebody who's detached from the position, detached from the kids. So there needs to be an attachment to those kids in order for there to be a responsibility on that person, on a pool. And if he's not attached to them kids, his mindset will be detached. So him not inviting the kids to the wedding ain't a big deal. It's not a big deal because in reality he's detached already, and that is unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? And again, it goes back to, like I said, he hasn't made peace with that yet, and he's gonna have to do it because the kids are gonna grow up, and this is gonna affect them. You know what I'm saying to you? So I would still want to hear his story. I would still want to hear what happened as to the first child and the twins. If he's got I don't want to say a different rendition. If there's something else, what his mindset was, I would want to know where he was coming from and what happened to him. You know what I'm saying to you? I think that's again something I would love to tap into.
I wrote one single note for the Tyler section. I'll read the note. We'll get off at the reunion. You know what that means?
He talks about was that him talking about the kids situation when they were playing pool?
No, he's gonna get off because the reunion was filmed prior to Bride and her ex-wife making videos. So he's already answered his version before we heard from both of them. So it won't be as in detail. He's only going to go as detailed as he feels he needs to. He would have need to come a lot more had those two videos come out before, but the reunion was already filmed. And Jay's just gonna pop up here like that.
Hey Jay.
You know what's beautiful about that though right there is that we gonna find out how truthful he really is. He not gonna be able to have the time to think of the truth he want to based off of what these two ladies has given. He already gave his truth. So we'll find out how much he actually told Ashley in that moment. We'll find out if she know about the 3 kids. She know about the freak offs. She know about him texting the other girl. We'll know about all of that. We should, if editing does their job right, we should know about all of that. You know what I'm saying? In that scenario. So if we don't get any of that, yes, he's telling the truth that serves him in the moment. And there's some validity in what both of these ladies are saying. But if we get that truth, then we might have to look at him differently. Because right now, and can we factor in everything that's been going on since, Kojo? Are we talking about everything, both the interviews with the ladies and all that stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, hear me out, because I know y'all gonna try to come for me in the comments. Hear me out.
I'm worried they'll come for me.
I am not taking up for anything Tyler did, okay? Because I'm with John. A man that disowns his kids is just not a man to me. That's just how I feel. So the fact that there's some agreement that he decided that he is going to step up into the kid's life, that means they're your kids. That means this is a conversation that you absolutely should have had with Ashley off camera. Now, it is said that Ashley had the conversation off camera and Ashley asked for it to be on camera. Okay, here where I'm going, why I say it was supposed to stay off camera. In respect of Bride and whatever, and her comfortability of being outed about sleeping with a man, as she says, I can see why he would have a conversation with her, at least off camera.
Or you just gave him an out. He gonna watch this? Kojo channel.
He can't get it out. Like I said, based off of whatever he said already at the reunion. He can't get it out now.
Oh yeah. Tyler would have been happy to see this boy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, out of respect for her, I can see I'm gonna have this conversation off camera or whatever. My confusion is she wants her life to be private in all of this. Then she does this video where she could have went to court privately and not came on here and made a big deal out of it to protect her kids if she was in protection of her kids. Also, on the flip side, she said they had a conversation that when he goes on the show, that talking about coming on there and bringing the kids. Ma'am, do you want to remain private or do you want him to talk about the kids? Do you want him to be the daddy or the uncle? It's too much confusion that's going on with these people, and they're all comfortable with lying. So like you said earlier, it's within him for sure that he's going to lie. He was cheating on his ex-fiance with his friend's wife. They're into other stuff. He needs to be honest with that part of his life. That's not something that you're going to just stop because you found the wife. Most people don't stop those type of things just because they found somebody. They usually find people that are with those things. So unless Ashley is saying she's with all of that type of activity, and this is why she's like, okay, with marrying this man or whatever, which I'm going to get on her about this other part of it, but fine. Y'all do you. But if you're lying to her about your whole lifestyle, you're no better than your baby mother, because she's still lying to the world about that she likes a little peen on the side. Like, come on, you do, ma'am.
Yeah.
You do. You didn't have to sleep with your first boyfriend in high school. You did it though. Why you sleep with him? You were just appeasing your mom. So as long as she seen you with a man, you didn't have to sleep with him. Bambi, not now. Don't start this. Girl, like there's so much lying that's going on. And I just really feel bad for the kids that this is their parents. Like all of their truth gonna have to come out like this. You're talking about, I hope my kids never have to see this later on, ma'am. You're making a video that's still on your page right now. Where is it going?
Yeah.
Like, let me let her outside real quick because
she just wanted to jump on here and shut it down. That's all she wanted to do. That's all.
She know when I get to she feeling me hype. She like, you too passionate about this. Hold up, calm down.
What are your thoughts on what she said?
Yeah, I think she made a good point though, right? Because I think again, obviously, my whole sentiment to the situation is that with remember that obviously the ex-wife came out and said that old girl is a abuser and pretty much a gaslighter and liar, because obviously that's what she was actually saying. And we've got Tyler, who's also a liar, gaslighter, manipulator. So at this point, everybody's story is liable for us to check, because even old girl who said that the ex-wife is a liar, if I remember correctly, and I can't remember where I saw it, but it might not be true. I think she was involved in the freak-offs too. So I think she was involved with Tyler as well. So, but she didn't tell anybody this. So you're a whole damn liar too. So it's like, now I can't trust any of y'all, because now you're all telling. And I think this is also probably potentially what may keep Ashley in this relationship even longer, because now Tyler has some credence. When I say credence, what I really mean is, could it be credible that what he said the truth is now? It can be credible. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it can be credible, because you're looking at going, hold on, these two women out here lying about the situation, not telling the full truth. Old girl says she's a lesbian, but was sleeping with you and caught feelings. How is that possible? And then your ex-wife, was sleeping with Tyler too, not told anybody as well, and you knew he was sleeping with somebody else, but you had an ex-fiance. So for Ashley, I can see it like, then why would I not believe Tyler if these two women here are liars? You know what I mean?
After being there for a whole year, after being in a relationship with him.
After being for a whole year, exactly. So it's like, it's techie right now. And yeah, it's so I can see how she might get stuck in it even more. So I don't know I think the real test is, what did, like you said, what Jay said, what did he tell Ashley off the camera? What did he tell Ashley after? Did he tell him he had 3 kids? Did he tell him that listen, this is what the situation is really and truly? If he did, then it kind of nullifies a lot of stuff. But if he didn't and he kind of left it open, then hey, he won't be in trouble again.
He didn't though. If he did, they would be with the kids now. There would be pictures of Tyler and Ashley with the children. He's still not in the children's lives.
But he's saying he's a sperm donor. She's saying he's not.
Well, it's two parts to that too. If I'm a part of the show and the show had me scrub my channel pictures and stuff like that, I can't go. I should be secretly seeing my kids and I can't go. Or there's the other part. Bri is already known to be a liar herself too. So she could be lying about him seeing the kids. Because I need to know, when's the last picture taken on the grandma's page. I need the grandmas to step up. I need his mama to show me when's the last picture that she took with her grandbabies, because she obviously had pictures on her page. So whenever those pictures is posted, that's the last time he's seen them kids for sure. Because I know, at least if the grandma has the pictures of the babies, he might not be in them. But if she got the pictures, I'm pretty sure she called him and is like, I got the kids over here. So if he love his babies, he was gonna go over there to see his babies that day, regardless if he gonna lie to Ashley to do it or not. So I kind of want to hear the grandmothers, his mothers, out of everybody. I'm gonna give her the more grace to say that she's more not the liar than anybody.
But the grandma shows Tyler is a liar, because he can't. How you just a sperm donor and the grandma is posting pictures saying these my beautiful grandbabies? Like he's lying to somebody. And I want to say to you, Kojo, I'm so happy, because I was, we watch everybody else's videos. You're the only person that I saw besides me that said that the ex-wife was probably involved in freak-offs too, because everybody omitted something. Tyler omitted something. Bri comes out and omit something. And so you mean to tell me that she just didn't omit something? It's just, there's nobody to come behind her. There's nobody else left to come out to say anything.
Everybody missed my live yesterday. It's all good. 'Cause I sure enough said it yesterday. I said it on my reaction live yesterday. Baby was down with it because she didn't say nothing that she glossed over that and she went to tell us about a whole couple that has nothing to do with the story altogether.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, no, I ain't crazy. I feel like I know these situations.
If you know of it, if you know your partner into doing these things or she's housing these things for her friend, your partner's got to be into it. You got to know that. Like, ain't no way. It's an old saying that goes on in my family or whatever, and say, if I ask my friend to lie for me, I know they'll lie to me.
Mhm.
So a liar is gonna be a liar. Baby, you knew your woman was a liar.
Yeah. I want to say something that will make me not popular to your audience. I'm always speak the truth, to be honest. Sometimes, like, I feel like we get confused over the details we would like just as fans of the show, gossip and stuff, then we're not thinking about like the participant, like Ashley. If Tyler told Ashley, I done some freaky stuff, I was a bad guy, I cheated, he told her all these things and she accepted him for his past, why are we all saying he needs to tell her about the freak offs? What do the freak offs got to do with the children? I feel like, yeah, of course, I want to know. I would love to see him talk, like say those details. But I'm saying when it determines should Ashley stay with him, his details of being freaky wouldn't matter if he already told her he did stuff like that. Like he used to be that bad guy. Like, is that important when it comes to the children?
Not necessarily, but I guess obviously, it might be important in terms of like, because it involves the story. You know what I mean? It's a messy affair. You know what I'm saying to you? And it's better to come clean now because it's all come out in the rest of the world. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So maybe that's an aspect of it. I mean, it's not as important if I'm honest with you, but the freak offs are a part of the story. You know what I'm saying to you? So it's unfortunate, but and that's what I'm saying to you. It gets messy because it gets, and it can be shameful but that's if he has really like left that life behind. Then someone can look back at it and be like, I'm kind of ashamed of that to that aspect. But anyway, that aspect is, like you said, the kids are the one that are most important in situations. So, but for me personally, like I said, I just felt I sensed something from the ex-wife that was just not genuine. I didn't get the motivation because her motivation was like, I got to clear my name because they told me, baby, you don't have to clear nothing. Because when Bree said what she said, we don't even know if we even believe in her half the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying to you? We're focused on Tyler. We're not focused on you. Baby, you could have stayed low key. We did not care. You know what I'm saying to you? You are an extra component that actually is not that necessary because in reality, we were focused on the fact that Tyler Dunn had kids with this lesbian. That's the storyline. You know what I'm saying to you? Not saying it so plainly, but that's the storyline. So we weren't even though Bree and she lightly mentioned about how her wife left her. Okay, all right. We were not going to investigate like, oh my God, let's go and find out if Bree's wife left her because it doesn't have no impact on Tyler. But now you've come out. And then she mentioned that Tyler's her arch nemesis. I said, "Oh, sis, no."
Hey,
sis, tell us something.
I just realized something that the ex-wife caught in a lie. Didn't the first thing we hear about the ex-wife was she cheated with Tyler and had twins the natural way? That's the comment she put out that Ricky showed. She said that she put it like she was with Bri. And they slept behind her back and had the twins. But when she did her tell-all on Jesse Wu, she was saying she was already out the door. The relationship was already over with. And he started sleeping with her and had the twins. I just realized that.
Technically, she did cheat because they were still married at the time.
Bruh.
That's the technical part of it.
But she was, I get you saying.
She's using the technicalities of it all. But she was gone.
Technicals are still tricky.
But that he didn't cheat if they already broke. You know what I'm saying? In Georgia,
they were in separation.
There's no legal separation if you're here.
She wanted to, but she used that as the to almost nail it because obviously that is the proof that there was cheating, quote unquote. Because remember, she actually has no full proof, even for the Kyra situation. Although she said it, her actual story is not definitive proof of catching her. It is simply because we know that you're doing Turkey Basin before that. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. We knew you were doing all that kind of stuff. So, quote unquote, exactly. So, you know what I mean? Like, so then obviously the fact that the Tokyo-based machine obviously got left. Yes, putting 2 and 2 together, she's probably right. They were probably doing something, but she actually has no definitive proof. When she explained it, I said, that's not definitive proof that they actually did something and cheated. You know what I'm saying to you? But I get what she was alluding to. So maybe the kids one is easy to say.
I went so detailed. I actually, for my video on this, I went and researched the percentage of success when you use a turkey baster for sex.
God damn. What's it like? 10%?
Yeah, it was like 10%. So, and they only did it twice. So yeah, he went in there and knocked it up. So, in my subjective opinion, but I wanted to run this by you. I hear everybody blaming Love Is Blind for talking off camera, and I had a different take on this. I don't think that Love Is Blind is the problem. I think that we're in season 7, so they're getting smarter. So I thought like they're purposely waiting until the cast and everybody leave to have these arguments at night off camera. Tim kind of confirmed what I was saying, because when he talked about what happened with him and Alex, he said to show her the respect, I tried my best to have all of our disagreements off camera. So if this is something that's true, then what can happen to season 8, season 9, season 10 if people are going on the show now and just waiting for the perfect moment to talk, unlike the previous seasons?
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. But that would still not change the fact that there's certain people need to do background checks. I don't think it's the worst because of like someone like Alex did what she did. It's more about the things like Tyler's situation slipping through the cracks. That's why I said it was bad from them. The other aspect is, because it's what the Leo and Hannah one is relationship stuff can go wrong. Alex and Tim one. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that one probably needs to have more conversation on the camera. Probably need to hear a bit more in terms of what happened after, because we didn't get to see the incident. It was off camera.
I disagree with you with that incident, by the way, that first one.
Oh, what, the Tim and Alex, or?
Yeah, Tim, the hand over the mouth. I don't think that she did that.
Well, she said she didn't do it. She said she didn't touch his mouth. That's what she said. She didn't touch his mouth. She said she kind of motioned in that particular aspect. And yeah, I mean, if a man said he motioned to almost hit you, what would you say?
Yeah, you're right about, I saw your video on, it's still a form of control. But I was just basing it off the evidence I seen from their conversations that Tim had shown a propensity that he would embellish things. He got mad at her and said she slept all day. She showed I slept from 5 to 6. If I'm looking at a guy who embellishes things, then I'm going to think, if you argue off camera and she's saying it's not this way and you're saying it's this way, then it's another situation you embellish.
But I mean, she said it out of her own mouth, though. That's the only problem. He didn't say it. She did.
She didn't say that.
She said when I covered your mouth. He didn't say it. She did. So that's the only part that got to get covered. So she might not have actually necessarily covered his mouth fully, right? But it's like that's why I said, like, if I change the scenario around and say that a man motioned to hit a woman, we wouldn't ask if he hit her or not. We're just like, the fact that he motioned to hit her, it sounds abusive. So if you motion to cover somebody's mouth, right, it would be abusive to do that. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So that's why I would say, like, it doesn't matter whether she actually touched him or not. You motion to do it, babe. You know what I'm saying to you? The next step will be next time you will actually cover his mouth. Do you know what I'm saying to you? That's my only thing. That's my only thing about it. But I'm not saying that he's innocent to say that he hasn't done things in that relationship. It's just more to say that I just wish that sis would just own it, because there's no way that any of us will sit here and be like, if a man went to raise his hand to lift his hand like that and didn't actually do it, we would not be saying here and going, well, he didn't actually do it, so he's not crazy enough to do that. Yeah, we'd be saying, well, the next step he's going to do is this is going to be a behavior later on. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yeah,
I agree with everything you're saying. I guess disagree with the levels of it, because there are nice situations or that's not as intense when you say that. Or if you're mad, an employee, or you got this situation going on, your woman comes up to you like shh, and she start doing like this right here. She's walking to you. She's nowhere close to you. She's just trying to get you to softly calm down. I would have to see that. I don't think that that's abusive to where. I think your words are right, like, because that is a form of controlling somebody. But I think that I can see this and it can be bad, but I can see this and it cannot be bad, if that makes sense.
Would you have that same response if a man was doing that same thing? Shh.
No, I would not have the same response. That's a classic moment.
But context is key. Context is key. I'm not going to remove context. Context is absolutely key, and I think that. But then the context also comes into play of it's not about whether you intended that or not. It is what the person interpreted from that situation too. in that
Yeah, you're
scenario.
right.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? It was a heated argument already, and you're doing shh, and you go to grab the person's mouth. You know what I'm saying to you? We would look at that dude like he was crazy. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, we will not have that conversation. So my thing is, my thing is also this: DB doesn't require you to hit the person for it to be DB.
Yeah.
If I throw a glass close to your head, it classes as DB. We don't have to wait for her to touch him for it to be classed as quote unquote DB. That's why I said it was. I'm not saying she's actually an abuser. I'm just saying it was an abusive moment. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I'm not classing her as an abuser. It was an abusive moment. And the reason why I thought it was a problem is because we already knew that she said she was going to test those boundaries. Now, Tim is what I call somebody who likes to... He's an antagonist. And that is a big problem. It's a big problem that he's an antagonist. But it doesn't give anybody the freedom to then do that. But it's still... He's an antagonist. I can't lie to you. But yeah, like all I'm saying is that we shouldn't minimize it because the next step is going to be probably something else. So... we might say that it's not abusive now. Fine, if you don't say it's abusive now, that's fine. But the next step will be next time will be a situation will be something else in that space. But I don't give Tim a pass for some of his behaviors. I think he's quite antagonistic, petty, rude at points in time.
Argumentative.
I mean, they both like that.
Yeah, even right now, you go to his channel, he's arguing with everybody in the comment section. Like he
feels some type of way. Well, Tim, if you're watching, come over here, sir. I won't mind interviewing you.
Hey, he's a good Falcons fan. So, hey.
Jay, what's your thoughts? Sorry, I haven't even asked you. Tim and Alex, what's your thoughts?
You know what? By the end of it all, I really, I was about to choose your ass. By the end of it all, I really, appreciate the way Alex carried herself off the screen. You know what I'm saying? Even right now, she's still carrying herself with class. So I'm just going to give her kudos to her. Where Tim was trying to be the big dog and get his get back. You did that, but you still made yourself look crazy. That's why you fighting and swinging in the chats right now. So just chill out. Like, stop trying to be vengeful and vindictive to people. All that petty. I said it on my live. All being that petty is not set up for marriage. It's not set up for a long time committed relationship. You cannot have that spirit within you is that I got to get a person back because they did this to me. Y'all was on a good page of communicating. Y'all should have stayed on that page of expressing how you feel when things are not your way or they're bothering you or somebody does things to you. But all that, I got to get back or I'm going to just do this because I know she don't like it or not. That's not really good for a relationship. And I don't know where you get that from. If you get it from your mom, that's terrible. And that's why the dad looking like that, If you get it from your dad, he over there quiet, waiting for his get back. That's crazy. But I just feel like Tim could have did better overall. And, I was rooting for him after that whole incident where she said that she put her hands on his mouth. I was like, okay, I'm going to give him some grace. I'm going to give him some pass. But to see him acting out right now in real time still is like, I can't really vouch for that. You got some growing up to do, sir. It's great that you got most of your life together, but emotionally you don't. So
that's why I said my biggest issue with Tim is that he thinks that he's right. All of us got problems. All of us got issues we need to work with. It would do no good for Tim to go to you, Kojo, because he's going to think that he's right. He's not like even Hannah. I said Hannah is in interviews saying how horrible she looked and how she wants to change stuff. Tim is like, I'm 100% right. But I do want to hear from Tim because he has gone back to say that there were other factors involved and they was always arguing. So he's looking forward to the reunion show. So I want to hear that portion from him. But based upon what I saw, there's nothing new. As everybody else said, it was okay for you to break it off and you don't want to be with the person, but the things that you said to her, or I hope I never see you again, I didn't understand where that came from.
I mean, I can see where it came from, but I can see where it came from. It's petty, but I also see that if there's things that we haven't seen, right, more arguments that are happening, stuff like that, I can see it. For me, it's petty still. It doesn't change the pettiness of it. You know what I'm saying to you? If there are things that happen behind the scenes that we didn't see, or in terms of arguments and stuff, of course, they did ask her on that interview as well. Her hand was in her pocket when she met the family. I mean, this now, from an African's perspective, that'd have been hella disrespectful. That would have been a conversation after. That you greet my parent, culturally for different culture. Like, for instance, if you're Nigerian, when I had a Nigerian girlfriend, I had to do cultural stuff. I had to go bow, I touched my hand to the ground. I did all the cultural things because it's a big form of disrespect for a family. So it shows a lack of understanding that culture where you're coming from. So I can also understand that it may not sound big to somebody else, but putting your hand in your pocket and then you hugging the family kind of shows you're not really there. And then also he might have said about the dress sense per se or whatever. She just looked like underdressed for the situation on the occasion. Looked like you don't really care. I kind of get it, you know what I'm saying to you? But it was petty nonetheless for those things. And number two, I do believe that his blind spot is no accountability on any part of himself. I think he can separate the two things here. Number one, I think he's fighting two fights. One fight is you're fighting about the people saying about almost like they're erasing the fact that you were shushed. Yeah, and you're fighting that part. But the second part is he's fighting that people are saying about his behavior. I think he needs to own his behavior. I think he needs to own it, say this is the parts that I need to fix up on. I'm looking back at myself and I realize there are certain behaviors that I realize are not compatible with somebody who's going to be a mature husband in a sense. So he can own that without having to take away from the other aspect and say, listen, we're not going to conflict the two. My behavior needs to change on this part. This part here was whatever he feels it was. And do it that way. But because he doesn't do that and he wants to make it a whole kind of whitewash, well, he's always going to have a problem. And it shows that you're not able to compartmentalize two things that happen at the same time, in a sense. Yeah. Sorry.
But typically, no, I'm not going to say that and get beat up by your audience. It was.
You must have say it.
I'm saying typically the guy is more logical than the woman in a relationship. Typically, don't kill me. But Alex was doing the logical part. He'd say a claim, and she would go detail, give the facts, and lay it out. And he couldn't handle that. He would say she did this. No, because this time she's laying down the facts. And when she said what we want in a relationship, when we talk about open communication and stuff, she's like, communicate with me. If you just let me know these things, I can't fix what I don't know. When she's doing what we want in a relationship from our partner, he like, I don't want this no more. So,
but
I don't know.
That's why I was going to ask Coach when he said when he went to the Nigerian lady's house that you went to, did you you prepared or she asked you to, make sure you know that these things is there in place? A lot of times there's some conversation. And if the conversation is not a disclaimer, it's held afterwards. Hey, when you do this, this is a form of disrespect. And that's what Alex asked for. And he can't give her that. So you was just being petty off the fact that, what is it when she shushed you, however she shushed you in Mexico, then you should have said that. Being all this petty on trying to use it, you took a nap, you put your hand in the pocket, you did all of these things. These are correctable actions that you could have either told me before I did them, that is going to be kind of disrespectful to my family if you do these things, because you know your family better than me, or you could have said this and we could have talked about it afterwards, and then that's my first warning. If you don't want to give me another warning after that, that's fine, but give me the space to make that as far as being, and we're supposed to be committed to each other at this point. If we're just dating in the real world and we have all the time, you can dismiss me if you want to. This is 2 weeks, 3, 4, 6 weeks in, fine. But at this point, we're supposed to be committed. You just literally talked to my dad, gave him this whole speech on which you wrote to me, to him in the pods. And I told you how serious that was to me. So you're no longer taking in consideration on how serious my stuff is, but I'm supposed to take in consideration how serious your stuff is. You got to make that make sense for me. You're not giving me the grace that I'm actually giving you. I'm giving you the grace to sit here in your face and say, I made a mistake. Tell me how to fix it. Give me a chance to show me that I'm intentional about being in this relationship. Because if I do something after you tell me this and I do that thing that you tell me not to do, for sure I'm not trying to be with you. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
No, mine's very quick. If Ashley goes into a new relationship, and not Ashley, but if Alex goes into a new relationship with his open-minded approach of wanting communication, wanting to hear what you like and you dislike so she can learn, she is increasing her chances of having a successful relationship. If Tim goes into a relationship the same way he is, it's not going to work out. It had nothing to do with Alex. Tim got things he needs to fix within himself.
And that's literally it. And it's why the balance needs to be put across the board. Things that both need to do and fix up so they can get into a better relationship. So hopefully Tim will see that and see some of his blind spots and realize that, look, and there's some stuff that he can actually begin to change. He probably won't do it right now because I think he's defending himself from a position of, he feels hard done by, which I understand, you know what I mean? But that tells me that you probably don't have that perspective to be more self-aware about maybe what you contribute towards something in the situation as well, But yeah, that's something he has to work through, if I'm honest with that as well. Okay. Who next person do you want to address? You said you had to put into that. Oh, okay. Lord of mercies. Okay, go for it.
Ramsey. Why y'all scared? Why y'all talking about Ramses?
Because the battles have been fierce on this channel. But go on.
That's crazy he's been the one that's been fierce about. But I don't know. What do you want to start with? I'll start with this. I will start with what I disagree with. Everybody's saying that he came on the show to play around. I don't think so. I think that he came on the show to get married. I think that when you say he came on the show to play around, you're saying that he came on here to lie to people. I think he came on the show and he lied to himself. I think he really believed he could be with somebody, but he wasn't. It's sort of like with Clay. He didn't even realize that, no, my bro, you're not ready to be with anybody. So I don't think he came on the show with false pretenses. I think he figured out early on that, nah, you're not ready. And you ultimately are wasting somebody's time.
I'm going to deny that early on statement. I'm gonna deny. I don't deny the rest of it. I'm going to deny the early on statement because this is literally a day or two before the girl tried on the wedding dress. This is 2 days out. Her mom is coming the same day that you decide to drop the bomb on her and all this stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If you did, okay, I'll give you this. If he did figure out early on, he didn't tell when he needed to. He needed to say it when he figured it out, and he denied that part. This is a time situation. We don't have time to play around. And she literally says she asked him every single day, "Are you 100% sure?" And every day up until the day, he said yes. So if I'm literally questioning you every day and you're telling me yes every day, what changed? Mm-hmm. What changed that devastating that makes you say no all of a sudden? I need those details. And so this is for me why I get on Ramses, because I'm not mad at the decision that he made. If you feel like you're not right for me, tell me that. That's fine. But don't lie to me all these days and then blindside me out of nowhere and say, oh, I had a conversation with these people and I realized how much I hurt my ex person. Like what? 5 years later, now you're just realizing how much you hurt your ex person. You didn't realize none of this, how much you might have been, how much they might have been hurting. Were you not hurting? When I asked you about your ex, you always dismiss me. You always dismiss me. And now all of a sudden, because you realize how much you hurt the ex, you're going to tell me no in this moment and then really be like, but I love you. It's our energies. That does not help me. That does not help me grow or anything like that. If you saying you love me, help me grow right now. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me that you did something wrong. Give me something, but you give me absolutely nothing in this moment. So you're not growing. I'm not growing. We're wasting each other's time. That's what you're telling me. You came on the show to waste my time. Regardless if you came on here to be married to somebody or not, you should have known in the beginning, this is what I'm going to tolerate or not tolerate because you've been married once before. You have the experience. I don't. So now you're sitting here wasting all of my time when I could have actually put my effort into somebody that really wanted me. You didn't know you wanted that girl. She was in the military, but you get outside and you have a military argument.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You've been married before. You've been married before. So you know how womanhood goes. So you're going to sit here and tell me that because I'm going through womanhood right now, that I'm dismissing your needs.
But that's why I didn't see him like people saying that he just was wanting sex so badly. I think that everything had to do with doubt. He always was looking in the future for doubt, and that was messing up. I don't think like, oh, you're not gonna give me sex right now. I don't think that happened at all. I think that he looked at every tiny thing for doubt in the future, which made him run.
But that's the honesty she needed, though, John.
Yeah,
full finding.
I need the doubt. You're giving her 100%, but you have doubt. She keeps asking you because she feels the doubt. The energies are not matching up. She's feeling every bit of your energy. She's an empath. She's feeling every bit of your energy. That's why she keeps asking you. We don't just keep asking you when something is right. We're going to ask you one time and we're going to move on. His energy was giving him, I'm not sure. If you keep questioning the future when we're living in right now, I know you're not sure. But she's still young. She don't know that lesson yet. And I can't be mad at her for crying on the floor because, to be honest with you, this is what we want. We want people to come on the show and give 100% of themselves and accept 100% of that person in that moment. She didn't take no past things and said, I'm going to hold you on these things. I'm not going to take you. She said, I'm going to love you for who you are to this day, who you present to me to this day. And I can't fault her for that. She got her heart broken honestly, being open to this process and to this man. He was the one who was not being open with himself and saying, I have doubts. I'm scared. I've been through this failure before. And it could be a failure of the first marriage that he is scared of. You could easily told her that. I'm scared because I do not want to fail again. And I really think that was what it was. He would have been better off just saying, I failed one marriage. I don't want to fail a second one. I would rather take our time to figure this out to make sure.
I don't think he feels like he failed that marriage, though. I think like my first red flag with Ramsey.
That's really the problem.
Yeah, that he don't feel that way. Yeah. My first red flag was when she asked him about his marriage. He was like, oh, we just kind of, both agreed. And I'm like, when somebody do you wrong, you're going to come out and say, you ask me what happened in your marriage. I'm going to say she cheated on me or something bad happened. He's like, oh, we both kind of felt that way. I was like, most people are more detailed, especially when you're trying to fall in love with somebody. But how can both of y'all feel that way? And then you come at the end and say, well, I found out that she was extremely hurt about it. I think that he did his wife, just like your guy Sean Davis said on his channel. I think that he did his wife the same way. I think this is a concurrent theme that he got going on where he's just a runner and looking for fault in people.
And that is, I wouldn't even disagree. I think that would align with what I was saying, that I wanted to look at the reasoning as to not making it as if, because obviously our conversation on the channel have been quite direct in a certain way, but I personally think like he came on the show to love, right? I think from my perspective, looking at it, right, this is classic person of an avoidance person, because they start flaw finding. You get what I'm saying to you? And I think he started flaw finding early. The problem with flaw finding is people don't quit immediately when they find that flaw. They're almost trying to prove that thing either right or wrong. And it takes a bit of time to prove that thing. In amongst that time, they're still functioning within the relationship. You know how we know that? Because Marissa was still functioning in that relationship, not being always true to herself. So it's evident that people can function in a relationship and not be true to what their actual essence is and what their actual goals are. They can actually be contrary to what they actually want. So my issue with Ramses is, like you're saying, Jay, is that he wasn't honest with, and you said this as well, actually, Love Reviews, that he wasn't honest with himself. And because he wasn't honest with himself, he ended up playing a bastard role and being an absolute villain for it, because he wasn't honest with himself. And so I believe that probably, you know what, I think he got caught up in the competition because it's an ego thing, right? And the ego thing in the sense of like, I want to be chosen. Just like we thought that she wanted to be chosen. I think he wanted to be chosen. As soon as he realized that Bodan was involved, he wanted to beat Bodan. And totally forgot about the fact that, hold on, is this woman actually right for me? Because, you know what I'm saying to you? And then because of the military stuff, you knew she was military. You knew that from early. So you got wrapped up in whatever competition mindset you were getting into, because your own ego needs to be fed, because you got wounds that you're carrying, and got fed into that competition, and you bypass the fact that she is in the military. She wasn't in the military, sorry, right? And you bypass the fact that, listen, and not only just bypass that, and I think I said this earlier in the thing as well, I feel like he's got a Mr. Nice Guy syndrome. And that is also a blind spot. Because sometimes when you're Mr. Nice Guy, not the good guy, the nice guy, you think of yourself like you don't stink. So that would then line up with what you're saying about the fact that a previous marriage, he thinks he didn't do anything wrong. And maybe he did have a come to Jesus moment at the end, or maybe he just used it as an excuse. Either way. So that situation with obviously Marissa, I think he was looking for an out from early. But here's the problem that is also the problem that we have here. Sex is one of the most powerful things in a relationship. Mm-hmm. It will honestly blind you from the bull crap that you know you shouldn't be in, and you'll stick it out. Right? We see women, this happen to women a lot, where they stay in a relationship and they're like, I knew from early I shouldn't have been in it, but the sex was hitting and I stayed in it and I stayed in it and I stayed in it, and they should have quit time ago. Now, were they lying to themselves? No, they got caught up. The euphoric feeling, the sex, everything, it confuses you from making the right choice from early. Had there been no sex, Ramsey would have been outed earlier, because his actual feelings would have really come to the foreground about whether he really wants to commit to this situation or not, instead of playing this really dangly game that happened, and now he's flaw finding. Okay, you were like this before, now you're not like this. Now he's trying to find all the flaws to get him out of the situation. Now he needs to run. So he needs an excuse, which is why his excuse was kind of all jumbled up as well. It wasn't really coherent in the way that it needed to be. Because if he really was only about sex, that nigga would have stayed in it, because he was going to get that sex in the end. You know what I'm saying?
But it technically was because he got post clarity nut now. Now that they didn't have
That's
none
very true.
now that they didn't have none for a week, he's thinking clearly now. Like, wait a minute. Yes, a lot of things about you I don't like.
What do y'all think of she tried to get back with him in 6 months and he wouldn't, he still denied her.
Hey, it couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. My ego ain't gonna let me do it. Like I got a 1 month window. I got 1 month. You gotta talk to me within that 1 month, and you might get me back. But after that 6 months, you a memory. Maybe.
So I feel like I'm the only person that's like, if Ramsey, you don't want to marry her, don't marry her. But I didn't see a reason that he broke up. I'm gonna leave tonight, pack up, and go for good. And you talking about energies. You're lying using the word energy. You talking about who she is as a person. I didn't see anything. What did she do for him to break up with her for good that night? I didn't see that.
Nothing, but it's also very hard when you're not being honest with yourself, and also it's very hard because you have to think about how people actually tell the truth. A lot of times people can't tell the truth directly. A lot of us have this problem. A lot of us don't. Listen, when someone says to you, where have you been? I was busy. You lie. I don't want to talk to you. Do we all tell people that we don't talk to them? Are we always honest? It's a natural thing that we do as human beings, almost protect ourselves and protect them. So I think he hadn't fully worked it out. The reality of the situation is her whole embodiment of what she was, everything that she was bringing to the table, it wasn't working for him. You know what I'm saying to you? Maybe sex was part of that probably as well. You know, the touch thing that wasn't a part of it. The fact that she has autoimmune disease as well. He's thinking to himself, can I actually cope with this? There's a whole bunch of things that was working with that. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I can't even do it. The military thing, I can't do it. He just should have done this earlier, in that space. Okay.
I don't know. I think the military is some BS too. You can not like the military. Somebody did it. That's in their past. It's not like she going back to the military or anything. I'm getting the sense no woman is good enough for Ramses. I think he gonna mess it up and find a reason with anybody, and until he talk to the right person about his issues.
I think he doesn't feel like he's good enough. Flaw finding is about you not actually being good enough. You're always trying to remove yourself from that situation. So flaw finding is actually an inherent thing that you within yourself don't feel good enough. You know what I'm saying to you? So if he felt good enough, he would have put up effective boundaries and said at the beginning, let me not run into sex. Do you know what I'm saying, child? Let me not run into sex. I don't know if this person's right for me. So flaw finding actually isn't about her being good enough or the other person being good enough. It's actually you. You don't feel good enough, but you may project that the other person may not be good enough for you. But actually, it's actually an inherent flaw within yourself, which is work he needs to do, and no one else can do it for him.
So you're saying he's telling the truth when he was trying to say it's not you, it's me.
Oh, generally. But it's not, because it's actually her. But he's not also truthful in that space. He needs to be, but it's very difficult.
Can we be real on why Ramses in this scenario is the biggest villain right now, though? Because
I don't think it.
No, because really this is real life. This scenario is real life. If he was in the real world, he would have just ghosted her. They wouldn't have had this conversation where he don't know what to say or whatever and stuff like that. But this is how real relationships go. Especially when we just giving it up real early or whatever, is the euphoria of the connection, the energies they exchange between us and all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden we have that come down, and then we start looking at the person for real. And we like, oh, is this really somebody I can be with for a long time or a good time? And stuff. And that's why I said in the beginning, if they ride in this wave, let them ride the wave. But they both got to be on the same surfboard. Somehow one of them fell off. And this shit went all right or whatever. So it's like when the wave crashed, Marissa's not ready. She's not ready to get off the ride. Unfortunately, he is. So it's like, girl, you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. And hopefully, which I've come to realize, she did learn some lessons out of this. And that's the whole thing. This situation happened because she and he was not both ready to be in a real relationship. There's things that both needed to come out that they need to work on. She seems like in the interviews that she knows some of the things, because she mentioned that she's a people pleaser. She don't really have very strong boundaries in some cases or whatnot. And that's part of the reason that she decided to go back in 6 months or whatever. So she's currently spotted those things and working on those things. And so sometimes, even though these type of things happen and they feel bad in the moment, they happen for a reason, because we're just not in the space to be prepared for the partner that God has intended for us. And in that preparation part, this is what you go through. You know what I'm saying? You go through the things to make you realize what you need to work on with yourself. So when you come out of these type of situations and you learn something like I need to work on this from this, and you do that, then you should find your one. Like everybody keeps screaming, Marissa's broken, Marissa's broken. We know this. That's why she chose this man. But did she realize what parts of her is broken? So.
And that's the tough part, I think, for her as well, right? And it's tough for anybody actually as well. And I watched an interview with her on Vile, and I said she's still people pleasing because she was apologizing for the fact that the mother situation about where her mother said something about Ramsey's, and I was like, no, it's not for you to apologize. It's for your mother to apologize for what she said to Ramsey. It's not for you to apologize. It's for your mother to. And she glossed how she felt about the Ramsey situation after, because I know she was pissed. And she glossed it up with that, and glossed up the way the mother situation also happened as well. So I think
but Nick Vile did that thing he does again, right?
Bro, listen, we need to do a video, bro, because Vile was bro. Yeah, he does this thing. It's jarring, bro. So jarring. Like, and he did it with Hannah as well. The same thing. Just I don't know when it comes to women. And it's like he has no accountability, bro. None.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. It was on my mind.
Yeah, he just straight up just told Marissa's mom was okay with everything she said about
everything she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he been doing that. I can't lie to you. Yeah, he been doing a lot of things like that. he been winding me up. Okay, what about obviously then Hannah and Nikki D, because that's an interesting conversation as well. Nikki D and Hannah. We had some really tough battles on this platform as well about it.
Really?
Yeah, we had some. Well, me and Sean did. Sorry, let me just say that. Me and Sean. Shout out to Sean. He's in the chat. Powerful back and forth. But what was your thoughts? Love's Lens review. What was your thoughts? And then I'll get Jay in. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I don't have anything new to offer. I thought that Hannah was extremely mean. I think in certain pockets, maybe it was unintentional, but she took advantage of the fact that Nick doesn't know how to defend himself. Like, I was watching myself on the show and I'm like trying to speak for Nick, even though Nick does, you can clearly see the flaws that he have, but I could see where Nick is trying to think of the right thing to say. And then he would just quit and give up and be like, well, maybe I do need to work on that. And he'll just accept defeat. Especially when she had her two friends there with her. But the one thing though, like, I think she was so used at the career she had, she was doing all of this and talking all this trash about this guy, and she didn't have a job. She didn't have a job, man, the whole time. Like, you're not working. So I don't know. I think that she was delusional. She gave off a slight hint of Chelsea, not all the way. Chelsea scaled to Chelsea on level 10. She gave off like level 3, level 4 of Chelsea at certain times, and where she was delusional. One thing I would like to point out that people not talking about: this man described himself perfectly when he said that he was a football player, because he looks exactly like a punter. She paid attention to the word football player, and she didn't pay attention to the word kicker. I Googled kick. All kickers look like Nick, so he did not lie about that. That was it for me. Nick
was a bit cheeky with the Henry Cavill situation, though. Looking like any kind of Henry Cavill was absolutely wild. That was as bad as last season's Megan Fox or whatever.
He didn't finish the sentence though. He meant Henry Cavill and Ratatouille. She didn't let him finish the sentence, and he would have got it right.
He should have said Henry Cavill before he got the serum and became a Captain America, which I know is the same different people, but still.
He did say a skinny Henry Cavill. He did say a skinny.
Even the skinny part is a lie. It's like, you don't even look like a skinny version, bro. It's a lie. That's the part that he did Hannah wrong. Hannah was out here expecting Henry Cavill. Poor lady. You know what I'm saying to you?
When he comes all the Wolverines in Deadpool, all the different Wolverines, and take a little short one.
You know what I mean? Absolutely diabolical for that lie. I said, you are absolutely chugging it, Nick. You know you don't look like Henry Cavill. Who told you that? You know what I mean?
Why do you think? Let me ask you. Why do you think people fall for that? If he watched the show, he saw what happened to Chelsea. Like, if I go on Love Is Blind, I'm not gonna say how I look. I see how bad it can go. Why would they do that again? Somebody said she looked like a linebacker. That's diabolical.
I mean, listen, go on, Jay.
I'm laughing at the chat right now because Kate got me rolling with the Diet Henry. I can't ask your question again. What's your question again?
It's like, why do people fall for the same thing? If I watch a show and I watch all the seasons before me, I'm not doing nothing nobody else did on the show. Like, especially extremely attractive people who the world finds attractive. Why would you set yourself up for failure like that?
Good point.
We have to assume that they watched it, though. You know, these people love to say they didn't watch it or they just watch one season. One season ain't gonna really give you too much, depending on which season you watch. So you might be thinking you're going on there doing something different. I don't know.
I think they watch, but I think that I try to be open-minded. I have been very nice on Nick. A lot of people have been way more harsher on Nick. I just feel like Nick that funny. Oh, I know what I can say. There's talk that Nick was talking dirty off camera. That Nick told the entire cast that
like the super chat because it's in there.
It's in there.
The super chat is he gotta highlight the super chat.
Oh yeah. So I didn't even see that. It just hit me. I'm like, people were saying he was talking that he's not attracted to her at all. If that Nick comes out to expose him at the reunion, then I mean, they won't excuse how she treated him, like being that cold with what she was saying, especially if she didn't know he said these things. But it's still, I mean, it's gonna hurt Nick.
Listen, I don't know how it's gonna hurt him because it's just off camera. Done better if her brother want to be the one to say it, she want to be the one to say it. It's gonna have to be multiple people saying it that's not in her camp. So it would have to be that it's all off camera. If he is that smart enough to know how to speak under his breath real good, what he gonna do? What he gonna do? So when she's talking about who's more mature, he's mature enough to do it in a way he don't get caught. But the camera didn't pick any of that up. Now, if we get behind the scenes DVD special or whatever, we see it, then it's gonna be like the cuties thing. So if it comes out in the reunion, then it come out and we'll see it. If they call on camera or on mic.
I wish that Hannah had the delivery of the first girl Nick chose, because she pretty much said the same thing Hannah was saying, but she did it in such a more mature way that I felt like it resonated with Nick. It was able to, reach Nick in a better way than Hannah was trying to do.
Not Sean trying to die on this hill when he told you, Kojo, you trying to
He really be trying to die on this hill. I'm gonna need him to stop the cap. You know what I'm saying? He be down on this hill for Hannah.
If you doing sneaky stuff and getting away with it, does not make you more immature. Like what?
Broski, listen, if he was saying things to Hannah, but that behind the cameras, that one would have brought that out onto the camera. Okay, then she would have said something. Her mouth is loud enough to say a lot of things. There's no way she's gonna let him get away with it. Little old Nick,
especially
when they were talking about what they're talking about.
Oh, that would have been the first thing she told her friends. Yeah, this one said, "I'm not attracted this, and I'm not that, and I'm not." She would have been belittling him with the stuff he said.
Definitely. So I was like, I heard that he did say one thing about that he felt like he was underwhelmed by her looks, but other than that, I mean, shoot, he probably was underwhelmed the same way she was underwhelmed. So
would that be a bad thing though, if he was underwhelmed when he saw her, but then he got past that? Like, that's what Love Is Blind is about, right?
I don't know. Did he get past it though? He couldn't get it up.
He didn't get it up,
and he said he wasn't eating a poissoir.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he wasn't
pretty enough for him.
All. I don't know if he got.
It wasn't pretty enough for him. He said, "I'm taking it." He put a Ramsey. He said, "I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I ain't gonna give you nothing back." You know what I'm saying? She had Hannah crying in a drunken rage with Ashley, talking about how he be doing it and not be giving nothing back. That's a damn.
She initiating it all the time, but she don't like it. I was like, okay, sis. I didn't understand that one either.
It's given from last season.
Yeah, I saw like forums of Chelsea. You saying that girl your best friend, all this stuff. You saying he taller than you. Even when they came out, I'm like, look how thick her heels are. You're not taller than Nick. What are you talking about? Like she's just saying some delusional stuff. I'm just like,
Katie, stop it.
Katie's absolutely wild. Yeah. So yeah, no. For me personally, like I don't think anything's different about the Hannah Nikki D situation. I think she needs to learn how to deliver her points. I think it was crude a lot of times. I think it was rude. I think it was devastating. I don't think it was uplifting at all. And actually, she got showed out because you're right. When Katie came into the picture and delivered that masterful piece, I mean, I was uplifted. It wasn't even about me, and I was uplifted. Do you know what I'm saying to you? That was her way of being able to say to him that why she didn't choose him. And I can see that. As soon as she said that, I said, I can see why he didn't choose him. I can see why, you know, that level of maturity, the way she delivered that message, that care that she had for him. You know what I'm saying to you? An old girl told, and it's not that she wasn't attracted. You know, she actually said she was attracted a couple of times. In fact, Hannah was pissed off about it. So, you know, but she really delivered that message in a way that was, I feel, was so empowering. And I would love to see more of that kind of stuff. It really spoke to that man's spirit. If he didn't get his stuff together after that, ain't nothing gonna get his spirit together. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, yeah, that was powerful. You know, that was powerful.
But imagine this, and updates of Nick. He got him a house because he was saving living in his parents' place. So he has updated himself. He, you know, he kind of looking upgraded. I see. What was the other girl that he had that came back?
Katie.
That was her name, Katie. She might come. She might come grab her Nick back up, baby. Okay, he got his own place and stuff now. He moved out his mama's basement, Sean.
And the one thing too, I never, like, when I'm watching the show in the pods, I didn't see it that Nick is just flirting. I always saw it the same way as Katie saw him. Like, he's using this particular mask because he feels like that's what he should present further, but it's not who he really is. I saw it exactly as she called it from the first episode.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that. I definitely understand that as well. So,
and then Hannah can be manipulative because the things that she was saying in front of her friends when they were there, I'm just like, but that's not true. Like, you're not telling them the real story of what took place. And people with that strong personality, this is how they can gaslight and get a bunch of people to turn against you. Because I'm sure her friends are going to see that.
But her friends was enablers and the gaslighters too, because it's her dog, and they're talking about she's just asking you to walk the dog. That's not hard. For an unemployed woman asking me to walk her dog, are you crazy right now? Walk your own dog, ma'am. You ain't got nothing else to do. Start a dog walking service, child. You need some cash. Like,
yeah. But also, if I'm her friends, like, if you just telling me, like, he feel like he got to do all these changes, but my friend is sitting here, she just saying walk a dog and take out trash. I can understand why they feel the way they feel. They're not seeing what we saw, and he don't know how to defend himself. And you know, so when you give in from that, they're gonna think he's just a piece of you know what, and then go in harder on
him. Anyway, sorry. What was I gonna say?
Yo, I gotta be honest. I think this season you checked out. I think like you done heard it all this season, Coach Yo.
No, you know what? I'm still invested. You know, I'm still invested. I can't lie to you. This season, I've actually been really invested. I've got a lot of strength this season, and I can't wait for the reunion. I actually watched a video of old girl Ricky time, and she delivered a reunion update because she got the tea about what potentially might be in the reunion. Obviously they're gonna edit it when they're gonna edit it, but yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. I don't think the reunion is gonna deliver what we think it's gonna deliver because all the information's come after, so it might not deliver what we want. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to find out what's happening in those spaces. I think it will be a tough one on this one.
Hey, my last thing out is that Hannah said something that was really important in one of her interviews. She said, I gave the other girl who was with Leo, she said, once I give you the information, you do whatever you want to with it. And I kind of feel that same sentiment when it comes to Ashley. We all know the information. If Ashley gets it all, she wants to stay with Tyler, whatever, do whatever you want to with it. I just want to see what her reaction will be once she get information. I'm just nosy to see that.
I'm with you on that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I definitely hear you on that. Yeah, any last thoughts, Jay, on your side? Because I think that's all the couples, right? When we do Garrett and Taylor, I don't have much to say about them. I can't lie to you. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't have much to say about them. They're going to still be married, okay? I mean, I don't know if you want the spoiler. They're still married, but I don't know if you want the spoiler. Do you want the spoiler?
Yeah.
They didn't move to San Diego.
Is it really a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler. They didn't move to San Diego. I know when he got off camera, he said to himself, yeah, now Taylor, the real stuff here. I ain't going to San Diego. Mom done told me I can't go to San Diego.
I'm the physical.
You can go, but I'm going to be right here. We're going to have two.
I'm going to be right here. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm going to tell you
be
straight
back
now, I ain't
home.
going nowhere. We're going to be right here. We ain't going to San Diego.
Put his foot,
Keep
he
playing
put that
with me.
ring on and put his foot down.
You put your foot down off camera. Yeah. I let you have what you wanted to have, but I'm telling you now, we ain't going to San Diego. Remember how I text that girl and said I didn't text that girl? Yeah, same thing here. We ain't going to San Diego.
Bro, I legit forgot their names when I did my Love Is Blind recap. I forgot their name.
This is crazy, trust me. So, yeah, listen, look, it is what it is. So, yeah, no, listen, it's been a good conversation. We've had some good chat here and a good vibes as well. I've talked about Love Is Blind 4 or 5 times actually. It's been quite fun, I can't lie to you. Different perspectives, really fun, I can't lie to you. We've got one more time to do it. We've got this 2 more times to do it, because we've got this Saturday, we've got our main mad big super panel where we invite different people to come on and share their perspectives, and then we've got one more after the reunion on the 30th, after the 30th, so that weekend, so we'll do one then as well. So we've got 2 more of these to do. But we don't know, because anything could happen in the next few weeks. We don't know what could happen. New information could come out and we may need to discuss it. So we look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday for the big live as well. If you're down Love Lens review, you're invited as well. It'll be good to have you on board as well. But yeah, no. I think that's it. I think that's everything is, you know what I'm saying to you. So yeah, everyone gets any new information, send it to my email or send it to my DMs. Love to know, and we'll definitely talk about it as well. But other than that, listen, we're gonna love you, we're gonna leave you. People, be blessed, stay locked, stay loaded. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Love Lens Review as well. And yeah, we look out for the next collaborations as well. Don't do anything I wouldn't do out there, baby. Stay locked, stay loaded. Oh wait, hold on, I didn't read someone's super chat. I apologize. Practitioner said Marissa came with great benefits package for a job he really ain't want, nor was he qualified for. Damn. Well, listen out here. Listen, if you're out there, Ramses, okay, all right, they want your neck, okay, all right. And I'm talking about the neck. You know what neck I'm not talking about, okay, all right. We need to behave out there. All right, listen, audience, thank you so much. Be blessed, be blessed, be blessed, and be blessed. We'll see you again soon.